guys, Howard here with easy blues guitar riffs for beginning players. Okay, this is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, please check that out. I think you might enjoy it. But the idea is that these are geared toward those of you who have just started playing. Maybe you've been playing for a few months or whatever, or even a few weeks, okay? And so all of these riffs are in a 12-bar blues format, which I think is really important because random riffs are just that, random riffs, right? But if you can learn a riff and really master it and then put it into the actual music like a 12-bar blues or whatever you may have, then you're really flying, okay? And as usual, I will be using on-screen tab and I will be playing both of these examples at tempo. But by all means, you can slow them down. They're going to sound just as great, okay? And I will slow them down for you as well. We're going to go through it lick by lick, riff by riff, okay? And so anyway, let's just get started. And here's the first one in the key of G. Okay, let's jump right into it. I'm in the key of G, as mentioned earlier, and it's a 12-bar blues format, and it's just a singular riff, okay, or a singular riff with a little decoration, okay? So here we go, nice and slow. I'm on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and you want to pick that note twice, and then we're doing a hammer-on from the 4th fret to the 5th fret on the A string. And then we move to the 3rd fret on the D string, back to the 5th fret on the A string, back to the 3rd fret on the D string, and finally to the 5th fret on the D string. So nice and slow with the tab on the screen, of course, we have. And then we're going to play the riff again with a different decoration on the tail end. So we've got this much of the riff, and then instead of playing, we're barring across the G and the D strings at the 3rd fret, hit both of those strings together, and then hammer your 2nd finger to the 4th fret on the G string. That creates a G7 sound. And as with the 12-bar blues, we want to play that 2 times. And then we're going to move it to what is called the 4 chord. You can check out my beginning blues lesson if you're not familiar with some of these terms, but you don't need to know that technically to enjoy this lesson, okay? All right, so we move the whole riff down, meaning down towards your feet, 1 string. Right, it's the exact same pattern, exact same fingering across 3 strings, but just using the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd strings instead. Now, the only bit that's going to change is that what's known as a double stop. Instead, we're going to slide using the G string and the B strings from the 4th fret to the 5th. So the pattern will be and I use my 2nd finger for that, but feel free to use whatever finger works best for you. And we will play that 1 time in a true 12-bar blues fashion. Then we bring it back to the first pattern, which is known as the 1 chord, G7, and we play it 1 time. So as always, it's 2, 1, 1. So what we have so far is this. Okay, then we're going to stay with that A string, the 5th string, and we're going to move the riff up to the 5th fret. but it's the same riff, but we're only playing half of the riff in that position. One more time. And then we play the second half of the riff back at the 3rd fret, but still on the same string, the 5th string. Right? So here we have it. And then we return to the original position, and we're going to play this. Just that much of the riff. Again, the first half, if you will. And then we're forming a D7 sharp 9 chord, a la Jimi Hendrix and so many others. And we're just arpeggiating the chord. You can see the chord on the screen, but let me spell that out for you. 5th fret on the 5th string, 4th fret on the 4th string, 5th fret again on the 3rd string, and then 6th fret on the B string. And we just arpeggiate the chord again right through it. So here's the whole thing, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat it, okay? So there you go with the first riff in this particular lesson. So let's move on to the second one. Once again, I'll just play it for you at tempo, and then we're going to break it all down. But a quick note, this one is in a shuffle feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. For this next riff, we're going to keep it in a simple 8th note drive, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you'll see what I mean when you hear it, okay? Here we go. Okay, let's get into this one as well. Again, as mentioned earlier, we are in a straight 8th note feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're in the key of E for this one. So a couple of notes here. You might want to use some slight palm muting back here to keep the strings from all moshing together and give it kind of a tight percussive sound. So you just rest this side of your hand across the strings as they come out of the saddle on your bridge, okay? And each guitar is a little bit different. You know, a Strat's different from a Tele, from a Les Paul, but you can find that sweet spot where you're getting that nice thump instead of, right? Just mute enough to give it that sound. You don't want to deaden the strings too much, okay? So what we have going here is we've got the 2nd fret on the A string, and in combination with that, we're using the open E string, the 6th string, and we want to pick those strings together twice. Then we're playing 2 single notes, 3rd fret on the 6th fret, excuse me, 3rd fret on the 6th string to the 4th fret on the 6th string. So we have, and then we return to that fingering, 2nd fret on the A string, open E string, and we're going to play. So it's 2 pick strokes for the 2nd fret, and then use your ring finger to go to the 4th fret on the A string, keeping that open E string in the whole time, 1 time, and back. So for that part of the pattern we have, and then we put the 2 together. And you repeat that, okay? We're going to play it 3 times. Normally you would play it 4, but we're going to use the 4th go around for a walk up into what's called the 4 chord, okay? So we're going to have this. that walk up is all on the 6th string, as you can see, and we're playing each of those notes twice. Open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. And then, as with all blues, we're going to take the riff to the next 2 strings, meaning we're starting with the A string, which is going to be the open string now, the 5th string, but we're playing the pattern the same, just 2 strings down towards your feet, if you will. And we're playing it twice, okay? And then we move it back to the original pattern and we play it twice. So in this case, it's a 4-2-2 pattern, okay? So let's put all of that together, starting with the first one. And then we move to what's called the 5 chord. In this case, it would be a B in the key that we're in. And we're playing a power chord shape. So we're on the 2nd fret on the A string and the 4th fret on the D string, okay? And we want to pick those twice. Now, I use my pinky to do this, and if you're just getting started on guitar, that might be a little bit wicked, right? Okay, so feel free to jump up with your ring finger or whatever finger works best for you. But the pattern is like this. So I'm playing 5 to 6 on that D string now. Again, you can play it if you just want to jump over with a more comfortable fingering. But I would encourage you to get used to using all 4 fingers because it's just great, right? You can do so much more. So we have. Now what we're doing here is we're barring across the G string and the D string at the 4th fret. Picking those strings twice, and then we're laying down the 3rd finger to the 6th fret on the D string. Not both strings, just the one. So it's 2 strokes of the pick, one with the 3rd finger down, and then back. So we have. Okay, and then we're going to move back to A, and we're going to play the pattern that we played before. But we're adding that little bit to it. We're copying this. So again, you can see the tab on the screen, of course, but this is what I'm playing. Gives it a little bit of color, right? So we have. And then we're going to play a turnaround. I'll take you through it all nice and slow as soon as we get through this. So the turnaround is. So again, we're playing each of those notes 2 times. Open 6th string, same string at the 4th fret, next string open, and then next string at the 1st fret. And then we're falling into a B7 shape, which is 2nd fret on the A string, 1st fret on the D string, and 2nd fret on the G string. And again, just like we did in the previous riff, we're just arpeggiating the chord. So we start from that 5th string and move all the way to the 2nd. So that turnaround is going to be. Okay. So here's the whole entire 12 bars, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go with easy blues guitar riffs for beginners, those of you just getting started, okay? And there's a bunch of other cool stuff in the description box below, more blues lessons for you guys, as well as access to my complete blues rock guitar course, which just takes you from beginning to intermediate to advanced, okay? So thanks again for watching, and thanks to everyone for subscribing. I just received the Silver Award from YouTube, which is really cool, and I have you guys to thank for that. So have a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.